Hello, everybody. This is Tiny Game King coming at you with another discussion on a team we just drafted for the Critical Continental Cup, or CCC for short. This is the fifth season. Um, it's our second season in it though. Uh, Last season we did all right. I forget what place we came in, but we didn't do too bad. Um, Hoping to do a little bit better this season. I think we just barely didn't make playoffs in the last one. We made it to the second part of the um, group stages or whatever, but we didn't make playoffs. Uh, but we are back, and it was nice. They messaged and asked if I would join this season again. So of course, I had fun last season, so I said sure. And I was like, maybe we can actually make playoffs this time. So it was kind of the same thing as most. It was like an S snake draft. Sorry. Uh, you started at first. You go to there was 12 people in this one, so 12, and then you're back from 12 to 1. They have a couple different rules and a couple that's changed from the last time we were in there as well. So it's same style VGC doubles. We had to draft 10 Pokemon, and 5 of them had to be from like set tiers. So they had S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier. So you had to pick one from each tier. But then you had 5 you had to pick with points, and you had 50 points. And the points were a little different. Like, I won't lie, it was so the points were for S tier. It was 35 points. A tier was like half of that with 17 points. And tier B was 11 points, and then tier C went all the way down to 2 points, and then tier 5 was 0 points. So you could take any Pokemon from that, and it didn't count towards any of your points. So if you really wanted to do that, you could. So like I said, there was 12 people. We got pick 1. And I know a lot of people love pick 1. I really don't. The whole like picking one Pokemon, then you have to wait for it to go all the way to the bottom and all the way to the top, just to get your second and third. Isn't like it's nice because you get 2 picks in a row, but just so many people, and I don't know. I just don't like it. I'd rather be like 4th or like near the bottom. But in saying that, we got first pick, and the first one I picked up, I've always wanted to use. Every single time I used it, I want to try to get it. It gets drafted on me. So I thought, okay, well, I'm pick 1. I'm definitely guaranteed to get this Mon, so I did, and I picked up Walking Wake. Walking Wake is one of the one of the new Paradox Pokemon, and some pretty good stats across it. And with the Water Dragon typing, that's really nice. I think then it only has like 2 weaknesses with dragon and fairy. And then it like 4 times resists fire and water. So it's like, and then I think everything else is neutral, I think. Could be wrong with that, but I think. Anyways, so I was like, I want to pick it up. It has a nice speed tier with it being higher than 100. I think it was like 109. Great special attack, 120 with like 120. And then the defense is not too bad. Like I think it was like 90 for defense and like 85 or something like that for special defense, and like 100 for HP. So like you can't go wrong with that in my opinion. So I was like, I want to try it. I'm gonna pick it up. It has ability prosynthesis, so it boosts its attack, or any whatever its highest stat it boosts. I think like 1.3, I think, and then if it's speed, it's 1.5. So it's pretty nice. So that was my first pick. So my second pick, what I wanted was like like a sunsetter or a rain setter, and everyone I got, not everyone, all the ones I wanted got drafted. At this point I could have taken Torkoal if I wanted it, but it was a lot of points. It was an S tier, so it would have been 35 points. And there was a mon in S tier that I thought would be more beneficial than Torkoal. I might be wrong with it, but I just thought it'd be a little bit more beneficial. And my second pick was Tornadus. So Tornadus doesn't give us like drought or rain dance or drizzle. I mean whatever, but it gives us a prankster. And he has like I think almost everything. I know he has, because I looked it up. I know he has Sunny Day, he has Rain Dance, and he has Sandstorm. I don't know if he has Snowscape, so that one I'm not 100% sure. But he at least has 3 of the 4, but we really only need the first 2, with being Sunny Day and Rain Dance, to help us with Walk and Wake, so we can decide to go sun mode or rain mode. So the sun mode, we could use that instead of the booster energy if we want, or we could do booster energy and rain dance, and then the rain boosts up water type attacks. Was my thinking. Tornadus also gives us Tailwind. Prankster Tailwind is amazing. So I thought, hey, I want to get Tornadus over Torkoal. It gives us a special attack, a really good special attack, really good. He can even be attacked, and his ability is Defiant. So if we do go up against somebody that has like Intimidate or something like that, we can bring Defiant instead of Prankster. Because he still has a decent speed with like 110, 111 I think, if I remember right. So he's still pretty quick, so we don't think we need the Prankster to get up the Sunny Day or the Rain Dance or Tailwind as quick. We can do that instead, and with its attack being like pretty high and his special attack being pretty high, he can be supportive or offensive. Um, and his defenses aren't, they're not the best, but they're not the worst either. Like he has, um, I think special defense is like in the around the 80s. Defense is like around the 70s, and like HP is around the 80s as well. So it's doable, I think. So we can, I think, do work pretty good with tornadoes. So like I said, we were first picked, so we get to pick our second one right away. I mean, our third one right away. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but in this league, you have 2 terrors, and you can only use them 2 terrors. So, but we could draft them in whenever we wanted. And I was thinking at this point, I want to pick up my terror. The one terror I wanted, I thought I didn't know if people would start getting terrors at this point, but this terror I really knew I wanted, and I wanted to make sure I got it. And because I could use it as a defensive terror, or I could use it as an offensive terror with like Walking Wake or some other mons I picked up, and that's water. So the one terror I can use is water. So that'll help boost Walking Wake's attacks, and it'll give us like a defensive type against things like steel, and what else is water we good against? Of course, like fire and water as well, and ice. So it's not bad. We do at the moment, even with that, starting to get a little bit of an electric weakness. Not that much, because Walking Wake is neutral to electric because of its dragon. So like we only really got tornadoes, and if we do Terra, we do have to remember about things like electric. So that is there. So again, we had to wait all the way until it got back to us, and I had a lot of snipes. Like I think I had like 8 snipes in my whole draft. Like a lot of the mons I wanted got taken from me. So at this point, I was like, I want to pick up a mon from one of the lower tiers that I thought was a good mon for its value, and that I could use offensively, but and that was Bramblegast. So Bramblegast gives us a grass ghost typing, which I think is a really interesting typing. There's a little bit of weaknesses, like of course with like fire, ice, flying, and ghost and dark. But it was a mon I wanted to use. It gives us a couple neutral like immunities with fighting normal because it's ghost type. Some decent resisting with like ground, which I usually get stuck with like a lot of ground weaknesses. And then of course grass, electric, and water. Pretty sure they'll be all resisted. But one of the other main reasons I picked him up is its ability. Windrider gives us an attack boost if it's under Tailwind. So either if we set up Tailwind when it's out, or if we bring it out in Tailwind, it gets an attack boost. It also will get attack boosts from things like Icy Wind, Heat Wave, and things like that. And with the water terror we got, we can like tear into water and we don't have to worry about the fire damage. So that's I thought was nice. And I was like, I've never used it. I'm gonna try to use it and see if I can use it. And then the next one I picked up, I went back up to A tier to pick up my A tier, and I picked up Volcarona. Volcarona gives us a nice strong special attacker, pretty good defensive stats as well, with like 100 something in special defense. The defense isn't the greatest. I think it's like 60, 70, 65 or something like that. I think it's 65. And HP is 85. So I thought this would be nice. It gives us a redirection if we want it. It gives us a setup bomb with like Quiver Dance. It also has Tailwind, I believe. It gets Tailwind. That I'm not 100% sure. But I think it gets Tailwind. But like I said, I doubt we'll ever really use it for a Tailwind setup. But it's a mon I like. I like my bugs. And Firebug is a good typing. It has I think it's like 4 times weak to rock, which isn't nice. And then it would be weak to flying and water. Yeah, I think so. But so 3 weaknesses really. And we can fix that with the Terra Water we have and the other type we picked up later. Mostly. We can at least make the rock neutral. So I was like, I want to pick up Volcarona. I like Volcarona. It'd be nice to see if we can get it working. And like I said, it gives us a redirection, which is always nice if we want to go that way. So, at this point, I said to myself, okay, I have pretty much a decent fast mode. Like, I can't go wrong with these the mods with the speeds they have. Like, they're all in the hundreds, except for Brambleghast. Even that, he's in his 90s. So I was like, I need to start making a slow mode. And I'm also realizing that I'm more on the special than I am on the physical. So I want to work that out. So I decided I wanted to start getting my Trick Room mode as well. Because anyone that knows me knows I'm not the greatest with Trick Room. It's something I keep saying I want to try to work on. So that's still my plan. So at this point, a few of the Trick Room mods that I wanted got drafted. And I was like, I need to pick up one for myself before they all get drafted. There's like lots that could get, but with the points that I have left because of what I had to do with like picking up tornadoes earlier on, I didn't have too much points, so I was limited to who I could draft. So I decided to pick up a mon that I think is going to be interesting to use. I've never used it, like pretty much like every mon in this draft I don't think I've really ever used. Like, I don't think I have used any of them. Maybe tornadoes. I'm not even sure about that. So, actually, I think I have used tornadoes. So the next mon I picked up was Weirdier. Weirdier gives us Psychic Normal, which is interesting typing. I think it's only weak to Bug and Dark, and not too many people get Bug, so I don't really have to worry about the Bug too much. And like I said, we have nice coverage for Bug, because as much as I like Bug, it has a lot of types that resist it. So that one's not really much of one we have to really worry too much about. So it's just mostly Dark that we have to worry about. But gives us a Trick Room setter. It also has some nice abilities. I think like all three of its abilities are useful. So it gets Intimidate, so we can lower our opponent's attack. It gets Frisk, so we can get that knowledge of the items that they have. And it gets Sap Sipper, which isn't too bad. Like, it's not the greatest ability, but if we're going up against somebody that has some decent grass type moves, we can use that. And I know there's a couple teams that have the grass terror type, so that's always nice. So we can maybe think of having that when we go up against some people, and it'll be a good defensive switch-in for them grass type moves. So with us picking up the Trick Room setter, I was like, okay, I need to start getting Pokemon for the Trick Room. And I decided to pick a mon that could give us some utility, but can also do some decent damage, and that's Hirayama. So Hirayama is going to give us some nice attack support. There's like 120 attack, like 140 HP. Its speed is 50, so it's great in Trick Room. If I remember right, the defenses aren't the greatest, but like I said, its HP is 144, so it's definitely we can work with it. It has like the ability Guts, so we can like throw a Flame Orb if we want, and do some extra damage from the burns, and then we don't have to worry about if our attack going down because of it. And it also has Sheer Force, which is nice as well. It has a third one ability. I can't think of what it is at the moment. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, so it has Guts and Sheer Force for sure. I think the third one isn't too bad, but probably not. I'm guessing I didn't think I'd use it if I don't remember what it is. So that's and I didn't write it down for some reason. So that was like the start of our Trick Room mode. Um, so the next Pokemon I picked up was Glaceon. Um, I think I used Glaceon once before as well. I really enjoyed using it. It was kind of it was in the low tiers, so I was like, I'd like to try it out again. Um, and it has like decent stats. Like, of course, it's an EV, so like all EVs have like a like 525 base stat, and so and Glaceon is kind of it gets a great special attacker with like 130 special attack, and the defense is not too bad. Like, it has like over 100 in defense and like around 100 in special defense. HP is no good, if I remember. I put down no, the HP wasn't that good. I think it's like below 70. So it's not the greatest in HP, but it's doable, especially with the defenses and special defenses being pretty nice. So I got that. I don't know if Glaceon gets freeze dry. Let me check. I don't think it does. It'd be nice if it did. I'm just gonna look it up now. Sorry guys. I'm doing something on the fly. Really don't think it does, but I'd be happy if I'm wrong. Oh, it does get freeze dry. So that's awesome. I don't know why I didn't think it did. So that's even better because it gives us now a super effective move against water types too, with ice, which is great. And with Terra type being water at the moment, that helps against like the fire damage that people might use against us. And the water, not the water, the rock, will give us neutral against the rock and resists the steel. So we pretty much get rid of all of its weaknesses if we change it to water. So that's great, and I think Glaceon will be able to help us out a lot this season. So with that, we're getting near the end of the draft, and some more Terras start getting taken, and the Terra types I wanted got drafted, of course, near the beginning, like after I drafted the water. I wanted to get steel, but they got drafted pretty quick. So I was like, I would like to get a type that I can use offensively, but also can use it defensively. Just like I did with my water type, I wanted the same with this type. So I decided to pick up Dragon. Like I said before, when I picked up Walk and Wake, Water and Dragon are, in my opinion, are great typings. So we just got that again in the Terra types. So couldn't get exactly the Terra types I wanted, but I'm happy with getting the Dragon. It'll help us boost up Walking Wake's Dragon types moves if we want to do that. Or it'll be a nice defensive with things like Volcarona. If we want, we can put on that, and it resists like water. We can put it on bramble gas, and then it would resist the fire that people might use against it. So I thought that picking up the dragon type would be really nice. Since we couldn't get the defensive typing I wanted, dragon I think is going to be still really good for us. So we're down to our last 3 picks. So we had to wait to get to us again. And I wanted to kind of finish off the Trick Room mode I have, since technically Hirayama is like the only one. Glaceon could go in Trick Room, but it doesn't really like Trick Room. Like it doesn't, like, it's doable in Trick Room, but it's, like I said, like its speed is like the same as Weirdeer. I think it's like 65, so it's not crazy about Trick Room. 65 I find is that in between. It's like doesn't really know where it wants to be. Doesn't know if it wants to be in like under Tailwind, or doesn't know if it wants to be in Trick Room. So it's something we gotta work with. But it's definitely we can work with it. I think it's gonna be decently good to use with Trick Room. So like I said, the next Pokemon I picked up for Trick Room was Kaparaja. Kaparaja is a Pokemon, like most of the other Pokemon on this list, I've never used. But it has like a massive HP with like 120, attack with like 130, and with a speed of 30. Not under Trick Room, not too many Pokemon are going to outspeed us in Trick Room. The other 2 defenses aren't the greatest. They're both 69. So they're not the greatest defense, but with HP of 122, we can definitely work with it. It has Sheer Force as well, so that's definitely a nice ability. And it's Heavy Metal, so if we use any moves that deal with like weight, Heavy Metal could be something nice to put on him. And the Steel gives us a nice defensive typing, with it only really being weak to fire, fighting, and ground. But with our 2 Terrors, we can work pretty good with against some weaknesses. But at this moment, my 2 my 2 Pokemon I was thinking for my Trick Room mode are both pretty physical. So I wanted to get a Pokemon on the special side for to help us in the Trick Room mode as well. So the Pokemon I picked for that is Klotza. Klotza has a great special attack with like 120. It has a decent typing, like I said, with water. And now we have the Water Terror, so we can boost that up. Its ability, Mega Launcher, boosts any pulsing moves up. So I'll have to figure out like all of them that work with that. But like, I know it gets like Dragon Pulse, which is good because we can use that for with the Dragon type. I don't know if it ever did, but let's find out. I want to see if it gets Skull, because I know some Pokemon got Skulled again. Um, if it gets Scald, that's amazing. That'd be great as well. I don't know if that would count under its. No, it doesn't get Scald. So, yeah, I don't think it would have. I don't know if it would have counted underneath the pulsing move, anyways. But like, get some decent coverage. It gets like a Roar Sphere. It gets, like I said, Dragon Pulse. It gets Dark Pulse. It gets like. I guess it gets Hydro Pump. It's not the greatest. But it gets Water Pulse. So that would Water Pulse would get boosted up. And then it gets like heal pulse. So like we can use it to help heal our mons if we want. We can just throw heal pulse on them, shoot it at our own Pokemon, and heal them up. So I think Closet will be neat to try to use. So we have one more Pokemon to pick. So, and we have no points to use. We've used up all of our points. So we have to go to a D tier. So I was looking at the mons in the draft, what was left, and like there's lots of D tiers, and still some decent D tiers in my opinion that we could have picked. But this one I picked up because I thought we could maybe do it. It's not good, but I picked up Sand Slash. So like technically we have a Sand Rush user with Tornadoes being able to set up the sand, and we have Sand Slash that can use that. Is it a good Sand Rush user? No. But what do you expect from a D tier? And out of everything that we could have got, I think Sand Slash was one of the better ones. And like I said, this ground type is such a good offensive typing. And I usually always have a weakness for ground, so I was like, there's probably some other people that have weaknesses to ground. So I decided to pick up Sand Slash. So that's our team. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, when I came into this draft, I was going first, and then, like I said, I wasn't a fan of going first. The only good thing was I got guaranteed I could get Walk and Wake. So I went with that. And then I tried to make a team to work around Walk and Wake. And even before it got back to me, I had a few snipes. Like both the water setters were taken with Politoed and Pelipper. So they both went. So that kind of sucked. Then Ninetales got taken. Murkrow got taken. So all these Pokemon I was thinking of taking got taken before it even got back to me. So I decided to pick Tornadoes, which took up more than half of my points. So I had to change things up a lot. But I think it'll work out decent. I think it'll still work out pretty good. And then again, with, like I said, I think I have like 8 or so snipes in this draft. So I think it's definitely one of the highest snipes in any draft I've done. Usually I'm pretty good with not getting too many, but usually I go into a lot of drafts not knowing what I'm going to do. So this one I think was the first one I kind of thought a little bit more on what I wanted to draft, and I guess that makes sense of why I got sniped a lot more. But it was fun. We did the draft all in one day, which I think is great. I like it. I don't have to worry about getting doing this for like a week or more. I think it's really neat to do the draft all in one day. So that's always nice. It's kind of like a fast draft with the regular amount of weeks. This one I think is a little shorter actually for this draft league. This time because there's not as many people. I think it's only, let's see, yeah, it's only 5 weeks, and then playoffs, which is I think another like 4 weeks. So it's a little short, so that would be kind of nice. So we can definitely see how we do. They do. This is probably going to be a team that we use. I don't see us trading. If we do trade, we can only trade Pokemon that we brought to a match. I don't know if we have to use that Pokemon. I think we just have to bring it. But I tried to pick Pokemon that I thought I would use anyways. So I think we're pretty good with our team. So hopefully we can get to playoffs, and hopefully we can maybe even win our first league. I've got pretty close a couple times, and made it to playoffs a few times. So it's like I know we can do it. I think I have to not get in my own head. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you week 1 when we face our opponent, which I have no clue who it is yet. But until then, you guys have a great night. See you later.